Hey, you know what's up? Listen, there's been a lot of talk about this awakening process and what people have been going through and this and that and the other, and this is the direct way to go through it. Look, your awakening process is yours. All right, everybody experiences this thing completely different. There's no one cookie cutter way for everybody to go through it. Some people it takes days, some people it takes months, some people it takes years. It's different. It all depends on you and your experiences. All right? Yeah, there's a couple of stages that you have to go through, of course. Just like any other process, there's always going to be stages. Just like if you're playing baseball, it takes 4 bases that you got to go through to get back to home after you hit the ball. Basketball, you got to drive from one end of the court down to the other court. Swimming, one lane down to the next lane. And on and on and on. Everything has a process to it. The simple thing to understand about this awakening thing is that it's all yours. It's your whole experience. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be that. 4 simple things to remember. You're going to go through an ego death. That happens. That's part of the personality and identity that you knew yourself to be. That's okay. It's all right. You're going to go through something that's called a void. That void is when you're between the new birth, the new version of yourself coming, and it's space at the old place where you used to be. It's a little bit of a void. It's a quiet place. It's a quiet space for you to find out who you are and who you're not. The next step after the void is, again, that rebirth. That's when you come up with this new version of yourself that you've already been. You just got to remember who it is that you are. And I don't want to confuse this. I'm just keeping it simple. There's the ego part, the shadow death, that whole element of the egotistic part of yourself that passes along. This is metaphorically, not physically. There's the void, that space in the middle. And then there's what we call a rebirth, the part of your new identity that emerges forward. And then the last part of this whole thing is the integration, the embodiment, where it all comes together. It's a cycle. That's really about it, okay? There's going to be that first part, the ego part, where it kind of passes along. Second part is that void. Third part is that part where that new birth, that new version of yourself starts to emerge, the new identity of yourself. And then the integration part. And integration is the embodiment. How do I take this new version of myself and implement it into the being that I know myself to be as I start to unfold into this step? That's really what it's all about. And that's entirely up to you. It's not because of they, them, those, and others, what they think, what they say, who they are. It's about you and your experience, okay? And you'll start to remember who that new version of yourself is if you give yourself some time. Give yourself some time to unpack this whole experience that you've just gone through. It takes a period of time. This is something brand new for you. Some people have gone through a traumatic awakening. Some people have gone through like lilies in the valley where the sun is up and the birds are chirping and all kind of stuff. Everybody has their own experience. What experience have you had? Like I said, there's no one way for this thing to happen. Everybody who's come through this way has awakened to their own uniqueness, your own individualness, your own reality of who it is that you are. Your thoughts change. All those different things start to happen. Do not get mesmerized by it didn't happen this way, it didn't happen that way, I'm not really awake, I'm not really sure. Calm down, pump the brakes, take it easy. You're fine. Give yourself a chance to experience what you have never experienced before. And if you do, you'll find out that it's one of the most beautiful things that could possibly happen to you if you give yourself a chance to experience what you have never experienced before. And then we could talk about the rest of that stuff later on. So if this is something that resonates with you, if it makes sense, stay tuned, stay connected, and pay attention, and we'll see what's going on. In the meantime, between time, peace, blessings, prosperity, and abundance. Namaste. You enjoy the rest of your awakening day. One love. Peace.